I mean, that was shocking and devastating. Would you agree? There are so many great lessons that we can learn from this. And honestly, what is ahead of Conor McGregor and what... Okay, so let's talk about Dustin Poirier versus Conor McGregor. It was very interesting fight, 2 rounds. As you probably already know, Conor McGregor lost in the 2nd round. And let's talk about what lessons can be learned and what, as a psychologist, I can think was the reason behind his loss or Dustin's win. First and foremost, that something that comes to everyone's mind, right, is Conor McGregor even hungry anymore, because he has earned so much money doing this thing, and he also is like not a young dude. I'm looking right now at what's his age is. He's 32. I think Khabib Nurmagomedov is the same age, is the same age as him, so that's not like incredibly old, but it's a very difficult sport and you have to have a lot of stamina and stuff like that. And once you have all this money, you don't have that anymore. And looking at the history of Conor McGregor as a person, as a fighter, you can tell that there is a lot of performance elements to what he's doing. And I'm not only talking about him on in the octagon, right? I'm talking about him outside of octagon. So there is a lot of performance element part to what he's doing. Like just remember that fight against Khabib, like, and what performance they made out of it. Not even performance, but the circus they've made out of it. I'm talking about McGregor trying to start a fight while Khabib was in the bus. So there is all that, and it's kind of almost makes it hard to focus on your fighting skills or whatever it is. I'm not that great at, understanding how fighting works and all of that. And I'm not trying to pretend to, obviously I do not. But there is almost this esoteric element to sport, especially such a psychologically sport as MMA, UFC, as fighting, because once you get caught up in all that drama, it somehow takes up a lot of your energy, and it really takes away a lot from you mentally, it takes a lot of space in your mind and stuff like that. And there is also this money aspect, right, to the sport, because obviously the main drive to doing the sport is money, because it's not something that people are gonna say they love what they're doing, right? Let's say soccer, right? There is an option for you to obviously love what you're doing, but there is no way you are gonna love fighting in the octagon where there are basically no rules and you can do whatever you want to do. So obviously money is the main drive and motivation behind all of that. At the same time, as I've said, there is that performance aspect to it, and Conor is already like this personality, almost like this character. So he already has a lot of Instagram followers and all this good stuff. So I don't know how much really drive is left to him fighting. And that's, as I've said already, that's the question that comes to everyone's mind. And actually, in his post-fight press conference, he was asked this question, and he said that interviewer asked whether he's just gonna back off and not basically come back, and he's gonna leave the sport, which is gonna be obviously like a huge loss for Dana White and UFC, or he's gonna pick himself back and come back even stronger than he used to be before that. And that is obviously a big question, and Conor did say that he is planning to come back, and he is planning to get back stronger. How much of it is truth? Well, we don't know, and we're gonna see how much of it is the truth. But another thing that I want to point out here is that it's not all about this drive, and I've heard that he changed his sparring and I believe maybe even coaches. I'm not sure about that. that the reason why he lost is all of this things like psychology and, you know, changing sparring partner and stuff like that. I believe that, and after watching his press conference, that one quote that he did say in that after fight press conference, he said that if you are gonna keep showing up, you're gonna basically become successful. He said that about this Dustin Poirier, I believe his name is, the way his name is pronounced. And I think I believe that is true. That's what I say in all of my video, basically. But another thing is, if you are gonna keep showing up, you're gonna fail, and fail on a big scale. It takes a lot of failures to basically become successful. I don't remember, there is that great book, and it's not for psychologists, but it is for like basically the salespeople. To be honest, it's for everyone. And it is called, I just remember what it's called Go for No. And even though Conor McGregor is already the successful dude, if you keep fighting, you are gonna get this very heartbreaking, as Conor McGregor said in his press conference, no. And that was his heartbreaking no. Yes, maybe he did have a lot of failure, maybe he did have a lot of success, and he already was that dude, but it takes, if you are gonna keep showing up, there is a chance that you are gonna achieve even greater success, but there is also a chance that you are gonna fail on a larger scale. If you want to succeed on a larger scale, you want to be willing to fail on a larger scale. And that's what we also see in other types of sports, like let's take my favorite, tennis, right? Let's take Roger Federer. He has been around for so long. It's not even funny. Like, when I was starting playing sports, he was already like on the top, and he's still playing, and that is insane. And just remember how many like crazy failure, I mean for him crazy failures, like not for an ordinary obviously tennis players, but still like for him crazy failures. He had to endure how many almost like shameful situations for him, like situations that he wouldn't choose for himself to be in. He had to go through, but look at him, he still keeps playing. And I don't mean to compare tennis and UFC, but at the same time, both sports are very psychologically loaded, because it's not like running, even though I believe there is a lot of psychology that goes with running, but it's mostly about the hours you've put in and stuff. In tennis and fighting, it's very kind of similar, but fighting is more kind of pressed in time. It's like shorter and more intense. So I don't see anything like crazy going on. Maybe he did make several mistakes in his preparation time, but really right now, I believe, it's my personal opinion, the question is, well, how much does he want it? How much does he want to come back in that octagon? Is he doing it for the fame? Is he doing it because he wants to prove himself? Does he want to do it because it's just like this vanity pride thing, or there is like a higher purpose, I don't know, behind what he's doing. Like, I don't know, Mike Tyson was fighting for I don't know, charity foundation and stuff, so we don't really know. And like, just wanting money is good enough if you want money bad enough, you know. So what's his drive? What's his motivation? How much does he want it? Maybe if he doesn't really have it, he maybe could go through logotherapy. Also, I saw in that press conference that he was really kind of upset actually about this much. At least he sounded upset. I mean, on a logical level, like what he was saying is that he was literally saying that he was upset, and he looked upset as well. Was the look on his eyes devastating? Well, I did not see him being completely shattered by what has happened, but he was definitely upset. And maybe there is a lot of pride that comes to the sport, even though in this sport pride is probably the worst enemy, but at the same time you don't want to be like too humble. There was this guy Fedor Emelianenko, who was like this very humble dude, and I believe it helped him, but it's kind of hard to stay humble when you are Conor McGregor. At least that is my opinion, and that's what I think about him. Maybe logotherapy, and really just put his energy into what he wants to do, and what he chooses to do. What do you guys think? Comment in the section down below. Don't forget to subscribe and go watch my other videos on this channel. Thank you so much.